star of the show.
The incomparable Bill Belichick.
Do your job!
That will be pretty cool someday.
When Bill Belichick became head coach of the New England Patriots in 2000, he was not introduced as a guaranteed Hall of Fame figure. He had already coached one NFL team.
Make the commitment towards a championship. That's what our goal is.
His record in Cleveland from 1991 to 1995 was 36 wins and 44 losses.
Certainly one of the outstanding franchises in the National Football League.
He had one playoff appearance and one playoff victory. At that point, he was respected for defensive knowledge, but not yet recognized as a dynasty architect. Over the next 2 decades, that perception changed completely. Belichick would go on to win 6 Super Bowls as a head coach, appear in 9 Super Bowls, and record more playoff wins than any coach in NFL history. This is the full breakdown of how Bill Belichick built one of the most dominant coaching empires in professional sports history. Number 1. The defensive foundation. Before Bill Belichick became known as a longtime NFL head coach, he earned respect as one of the league's top defensive strategists. In the 1980s and early 1990s, he served as defensive coordinator for the New York Giants under head coach Bill Parcells. During that period, the Giants developed a reputation for disciplined and flexible defensive schemes. Belichick's most recognized early achievement came in Super Bowl XXV following the 1990 season. The Giants faced the Buffalo Bills, who led the league in scoring and operated a fast-paced, no-huddle offense. Buffalo was widely viewed as the more explosive team entering the matchup. Belichick designed a defensive plan focused on controlling tempo and limiting big plays. Rather than allowing quick scoring drives, the Giants aimed to force Buffalo to execute extended possessions and reduce total opportunities. The strategy slowed the game and kept the score close. New York ultimately won 20-19, aided by a missed field goal attempt by Buffalo late in the game. Belichick's detailed preparation and situational adjustments became a defining example of defensive planning. The written game plan from that Super Bowl was later placed in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The approach reflected a core principle that would define his career: adaptability over predictability. Number 2. Lessons from Cleveland. Bill Belichick became head coach of the Cleveland Browns in 1991, marking his first opportunity to lead an NFL franchise. The early years were challenging. The Browns finished 6-10 in his first season and 7-9 in 1992, reflecting a roster still in transition. Belichick emphasized discipline, defensive structure, and long-term planning, but results did not immediately follow. In 1993, the team regressed to 7-9 again before showing clear improvement in 1994. That season, Cleveland finished 11-5 and earned a wild-card playoff victory against the New England Patriots. It was a sign that the rebuilding effort was producing measurable progress. However, organizational instability soon disrupted that momentum. In 1995, owner Art Modell announced plans to relocate the franchise to Baltimore after the season, creating uncertainty for players, staff, and fans. The Browns finished 5-11 amid the turmoil, and Belichick was dismissed following the season. At that point, his overall head coaching record stood below 500, and his future as a head coach was uncertain. The Cleveland experience influenced his later approach, reinforcing his focus on roster control, structured preparation, and alignment between coaching and front office leadership as essential components for sustained success. Number 3. The Patriots hire in 2000. In January 2000, Bill Belichick was hired as head coach of the New England Patriots after a brief and complicated departure from the New York Jets. The Patriots had struggled in the late 1990s, and ownership sought a long-term structural reset. Belichick's first season in New England ended with a 5-11 record. The roster was still being reshaped, and the team lacked consistency on both sides of the ball. At the time, quarterback Drew Bledsoe was firmly established as the starter. He had signed a large contract extension in 2001 and was widely viewed as the franchise centerpiece. Few observers predicted that the Patriots were about to enter one of the most dominant stretches in league history. The turning point came early in the 2001 season. In Week 2 against the New York Jets, Bledsoe suffered a serious chest injury after a hit along the sideline. Backup quarterback Tom Brady, a sixth-round draft pick in 2000, replaced him. What began as an emergency substitution soon evolved into a permanent shift. Brady's steady performance, combined with Belichick's defensive structure and situational planning, redirected the trajectory of the franchise. The foundation of a dynasty was forming, though at the time, it appeared uncertain rather than inevitable. Number 4. The Brady decision. In Week 2 of the 2001 season, Drew Bledsoe suffered a serious chest injury after a hit against the New York Jets, forcing him out of the lineup. Tom Brady, a sixth-round draft pick in 2000, stepped in as the starting quarterback. At the time, Brady was largely unproven, and few expected a long-term shift at the position. However, as the season progressed, he demonstrated poise, decision-making control, and situational awareness within Belichick's structured system. Even after Bledsoe recovered medically, Belichick chose to continue with Brady as the starter. That decision became one of the most consequential coaching choices in NFL history. The Patriots finished the regular season 11-5, earning a playoff berth. In the postseason, New England defeated the Oakland Raiders in the divisional round in a snow-covered game later known for the Tuck Rule call, then advanced past the Pittsburgh Steelers in the AFC Championship game. In Super Bowl XXXVI, the Patriots faced the heavily favored St. Louis Rams, known as the greatest show on turf. New England won 20-17 on a last-second field goal by Adam Vinatieri. Belichick secured his first Super Bowl title as a head coach, and the foundation of a historic partnership between coach and quarterback was firmly established. Number 5. The Dynasty years. Between the 2001 and 2019 seasons, the New England Patriots became the NFL's defining franchise under Bill Belichick. Over that span, they appeared in 9 Super Bowls and won 6 championships following the 2001, 2003, 2004, 2014, 2016, and 2018 seasons. Sustained success at that level is rare in a league built around parity and salary cap limits. During that period, the Patriots captured 17 AFC East Division titles and advanced to 13 AFC Championship games. From 2001 through 2020, the organization recorded 20 consecutive winning seasons, reflecting long-term consistency rather than short-term peaks. Belichick became widely recognized for opponent-specific preparation. Instead of relying on one rigid defensive system, his teams frequently adjusted personnel usage and coverage strategy depending on weekly matchups. That flexibility became a defining characteristic of the dynasty. In Super Bowl XLIX, the Patriots defeated the Seattle Seahawks 28-24 after a late interception at the goal line. In Super Bowl LI, they overcame a 28-3 deficit against the Atlanta Falcons, winning 34-28 in overtime. That rally remains the largest comeback in Super Bowl history and reinforced Belichick's reputation for situational discipline and halftime adjustment. Number 6. The controversies. Bill Belichick's career has included periods of controversy alongside championship success. In 2007, the Patriots were disciplined following the Spygate investigation, which found that the team had videotaped opposing defensive signals from an unauthorized sideline location during a game against the New York Jets. The league fined Belichick $500,000, the maximum allowed for a coach at that time. The organization was fined $250,000 and lost a first-round draft pick. The incident drew significant national attention and placed the Patriots under heightened scrutiny, even as they continued winning games that season. In 2015, the Deflategate investigation focused on the air pressure levels of footballs used during the 2014 AFC Championship game against the Indianapolis Colts. The league concluded that Tom Brady was generally aware of improper ball pressure practices. Brady ultimately served a 4-game suspension during the 2016 season after a legal appeal process. Throughout both controversies, the Patriots remained competitive, capturing additional division titles and Super Bowl appearances. As a result, Belichick's public image became layered. He was widely respected for preparation and tactical detail, yet frequently examined under a critical lens due to league investigations and sustained dominance. Number 7. Life after Brady. After the 2019 season, Tom Brady left the New England Patriots and signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, ending a 20-year partnership that had defined the franchise. The 2020 season marked a significant transition period. With Cam Newton at quarterback, the Patriots finished 7-9, recording their first losing season since 2000. The roster was adjusting to a new offensive identity, and the absence of long-term continuity at quarterback became evident. In 2021, rookie quarterback Mac Jones led the team to a 10-7 record and a playoff appearance, offering short-term optimism about a new direction. However, consistency did not follow. The 2022 season ended 8-9, and the 2023 season concluded with a 4-13 record, the franchise's worst finish in decades. In January 2024, Belichick and the Patriots mutually agreed to part ways after 24 seasons together. At the time of his departure, Belichick had accumulated 333 regular season wins as a head coach and 31 playoff victories, the most in NFL history. He won 6 Super Bowl titles as a head coach and earned 8 total Super Bowl rings, including 2 as defensive coordinator with the New York Giants. His tenure in New England remains one of the most sustained and decorated coaching runs in professional sports history. Number 8. The coaching philosophy. Bill Belichick's coaching philosophy centered on situational football and detailed preparation. Rather than focusing only on overall yardage totals, his teams emphasized high-leverage moments that directly influenced outcomes. During the peak years of the Patriots' success, they consistently ranked near the top of the league in third down efficiency, red zone defense, turnover margin, and special teams discipline. Winning critical downs, protecting the football, and limiting opponent scoring opportunities inside the 20-yard line became core principles of the system. Belichick frequently highlighted field position and hidden yardage as essential components of competitive advantage. Versatility was another defining element of his approach. Defensive players were often trained to execute multiple responsibilities depending on weekly matchups. Linebackers shifted between coverage and pass rush roles. Defensive backs adjusted alignment and assignment based on opponent tendencies. This flexibility allowed the Patriots to tailor game plans specifically to each opponent, rather than relying on a fixed scheme. The phrase "do your job" became closely associated with the organization's culture, reinforcing accountability and role clarity. Preparation consistently took priority over personality, and the emphasis on disciplined execution became a foundational trait of the Patriots dynasty. Number 9. Comparing coaching legacies. Bill Belichick's 6 Super Bowl titles as a head coach tie him for the most in NFL history. Sustaining championship performance across nearly 2 decades in a salary cap era built for competitive balance distinguishes his record. Only a small number of head coaches have reached 5 Super Bowl appearances. Belichick reached 9, guiding the Patriots to championship games across 3 different decades. That level of sustained postseason access reflects both roster construction and weekly preparation. His 31 playoff victories are the most by any head coach in league history, surpassing other historic figures at the position. Postseason success often separates strong regular season coaches from those considered all-time greats. Comparisons are frequently drawn between Belichick and coaches such as Vince Lombardi, Don Shula, Chuck Noll, and Joe Gibbs. Each led championship teams in different eras with unique roster structures and league conditions. Belichick's combination of longevity, adaptability, and repeated postseason advancement places him firmly within that historical tier. While debates about ranking may vary, his URSUM ensures his position among the most accomplished coaches in NFL history. Number 10. The larger debate. The departure from New England after the 2023 season and the team's struggles following Tom Brady's exit have shaped modern debate about Bill Belichick's legacy. When Brady left after the 2019 season and won a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay, discussion intensified about how responsibility for the Patriots dynasty should be divided. Some argue the sustained success was equally dependent on Brady's elite quarterback play and Belichick's strategic structure. Others contend that defensive adjustments, roster construction, and organizational discipline were primarily driven by coaching leadership. The reality likely includes both elements. Sustained dynasties in the NFL typically require alignment between elite quarterback performance and high-level coaching design. Belichick entered the league as a defensive assistant and won Super Bowl XXV as a coordinator with the New York Giants. He later experienced a losing record during his tenure in Cleveland before constructing a 20-year dynasty in New England defined by adaptability, preparation, and postseason consistency. His resume includes 6 Super Bowl titles as a head coach, 9 Super Bowl appearances, and 31 playoff victories. Those numbers are unlikely to be replicated easily in the modern era. The broader question remains how championships, longevity, and quarterback partnership should be weighed when ranking historical greatness. Now the discussion moves to you. Where does Bill Belichick rank among the greatest coaches in NFL history? And how should the Brady partnership factor into that evaluation? Share your perspective below and subscribe for more structured, fact-based breakdowns of the coaching minds that shaped the NFL.